Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Eric Brent. It's the Family Caption. Big news, guys, is Bitcoin is crashing. It's crashing down over 30%. This is not the first time this has happened. There's a news report that came out of South Korea last week that had said that the news report indicated that there were two major exchanges in South Korea that were raided by their government. And so a lot of fears are out there that cryptocurrency will be regulated. But again, you guys have to remember the basis of this technology was created in a way to where although a specific government could stop that country, it can't stop the whole world from using cryptocurrency, as this is a decentralized technology. And even if they shut down exchanges, it's still not going to stop people from trading on their phones. So at the same time, I wanted to share with you guys that there was a story came out about the two exchanges that were raided by the South Korean government. And there's a rumor that the South Korean government is passing a legislation that may all in all ban cryptocurrencies. So since that article, there's been huge protests in South Korea. And actually what has happened is over 250,000 people signed a petition. And now government officials are saying, oh, well, the guy who put the story out didn't have permission to say we were going to ban it because we haven't passed our legislation yet. But in any event, it has created a very panicky atmosphere in the cryptocurrency space. Now, a lot of people hear me, Eric Brent, talk about cryptocurrencies as they increase and appreciate. But I wanted you guys to hear me also when it depreciates, and what's my attitude and what's my perspective. And have I changed my position as far as cryptocurrency being the greatest exchange of wealth ever in the history of the world? And the answer is emphatically no. I haven't changed my perspective because the other day China came out actually with an article stipulating that they were going to ban. There was an article came out of China. I don't know its main source of it that came out, but it said that China was going to ban cryptocurrency all in all. Now, I don't understand why that would affect the market, but it did affect the market when people heard that, oh my God, China's going to ban cryptocurrencies. And again, I wanted to share with you guys why that is having a reverberating effect on the market. First of all, let's go into some facts. 4 months ago, China rated OK exchange, OK coin exchange, as well as Huobi. Huobi were one of the main two exchanges. 4 months ago, they rated them and shut them down. Okay, so what people are not realizing is the last 4 months, China's pretty much been kind of not that much of the volume of cryptocurrency. So that wouldn't really have an effect on it one way or the other. But the article itself did have an effect because people responded to it. So that tells me that the majority of the people in the cryptocurrency space right now are investors. And these investors make up probably about, I would say 60% of the entire market are people that's investors speculating. And most of them are now coming from the Forex or the Wall Street or the whole Wall Street mindset of news media and propaganda. And so what I'm going to say is it was propaganda that has allowed the crash of Bitcoin right now. It is the belief of these articles that came out. But I'm going to share with you this, that there has been a market correction. But was it due to the fact wholly and simply on that article or articles? I would say some of it was, but I'm going to say this also, is that, again, China has pretty much been out of the mainstream volume of trading for the last 4 months. And they did not really make up a lot of the volume that created this correction in the market. So what was it? I'm saying it was the propaganda. It was the fear tactics of governments that they're using to persuade investors, to be discouraged. And it's discouraging a lot of people because a lot of people are not cut out to be investors. Let me say this to you guys. That China, remember, banned Facebook. China banned Apple, and China banned iPhones and stuff like that. So China has banned it so many products that are tremendous products. I think they banned Twitter. I know they banned Facebook, and they banned Apple. So some of the major products in the world have been banned by China. So that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't shock me. To me, that doesn't really now at this point have that much of a bearing on the technology of cryptocurrency in general. Now, I'm going to say this to you guys. Bitcoin crashed over 30%. This has happened 6 times in Bitcoin history. And every time that Bitcoin has crashed, it has recovered tremendously. In fact, the first time that Bitcoin that I can remember somewhat of a crash has been, it was about 76% rebound after this quote unquote crash. The first time I can remember. The second time I can remember a Bitcoin crash, it was about 237% rebound after this 30% crash. The third time I can remember, it was about 183% rebound after this 30% crash. The fourth time I can remember a 30% crash in Bitcoin, there was 165% increase in recovery of value. And this last time that there was a quote unquote Bitcoin crash, there was 152% increase in recovery. So what I'm saying to you guys is don't believe the hype, okay? Bitcoin crashing, okay? That's a great article, a great way to get people to read, and a great way to propagandize people into a fear atmosphere to create this distrust of cryptocurrency. But again, out of the 6 times that I've seen cryptocurrency crash, I've seen a huger rebound than the so-called crash. And so this is like taking 7 steps forward and 2 steps back. Every time Bitcoin takes 7 steps forward, then it takes 2 steps back. And so this is what's happening, but it's constantly building momentum. This is just a correction in the market. This happens in markets. And in fact, when I was trading Forex, and not Forex, but I was trading on the commodity exchange, Japanese yen, Swiss francs, and Deutschmarks. Whenever there was a bubble, okay, there was a lot of bubbles in that industry. And when there's a bubble, it creates opportunity. You see what I mean? So it's a situation where whenever things crash, then people come in and buy, and then when it recovers, that's how money is made. And this is not an industry for people who are faint at heart. This is not an industry for people who want to just get right in and cash right out. This is for people who want to do a 2 or 3 year term investment. And if you don't have the resources to let it sit for a year or 2 years, this may not be for you. So if you don't have the resources to do that, but at the same time, there are a lot of speculators that get in now, buy now, and then when the recovery comes, you guys just saw the recovery has been 76%, 237%, 186%, 165%, 152%. All of these recoveries mean what? Mean that people are making money. It means that there is huge opportunity in these bubbles. There's 30%, 40% drops in Bitcoin in 6 different occasions that I can remember. But every time the recovery was like 4 or 5 times the amount of the so-called bubble. So bubbles create opportunity. So what do? I tell the Family Cash Machine right now, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. We buy in the dip. This is when the real strong, powerful, courageous investors come out. When everybody's running, this is when investors come in with a game plan to get in and win, because they're looking at these statistics right here that I just recited to you guys, and they understand that the dip or the bubble is an opportunity that happens in the stock market throughout the world. I mean, this is just in Wall Street in general. It's basically, when there's a dip like that in major companies. But see, this also tells me this one thing, that most of your investors right now in Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies are either newbies and don't really understand trading, or they are investors that just see the benefits of capital, but not the real benefit in society with cryptocurrency and decentralizations. And it's because we understand on the Family Cash Machine the longevity of the influences of the disruption that this industry is going to cause in so many different industries. We understand the positive effect that that's going to have and reshaping and retransferring wealth. Then we're in this for the long haul. So with that, you guys, we're going to get ready to sign out. Again, it's a bubble, and a bubble means opportunity. A bubble means buy the dip, buy the dip. All of these coins that have so much great potential and great technologies backing them, this is the time that you want to grab them, and you want to grab as many of them as you can right now, because again, the recoveries are way greater than the so-called bubbles. And so with that, you guys, we're going to sign out. This is Eric Brent, Family Cash Machine. Peace.